Greetings. In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to change out the baseboards and the trimming in your bathroom yourself. You don't have to have that much expertise in order to do it, or the bedroom as well as you can do the baseboards. So what happened is this downstairs bathroom had a water leak upstairs. It was coming from the overflow gasket in the bathtub, and what happened is that little O-ring wore out, and then when we were taking baths, the water creeped behind this wall here and came out from underneath here, completely dry rotted out these baseboards, caused mold here on the side, so I had to paint this. And then it didn't ruin this baseboard, but it ruined this trimming here, so I had to replace this trim. And there's trim underneath the cabinet that I also had to replace. And so the only thing that you're going to need is your trim and your baseboard. The baseboard comes at 8 feet lengths. So yes, they can. If you take it to Home Depot or Lowe's or Barry's or Ace Hardware, your local hardware store, they can go ahead and pre-cut it for you. And if you're in a sedan car like me, you had to have it cut at least in half. So they come in 8 feet lengths, so I got a total of 16 feet. And as you can see here, I had 2 extra here, 8 feet, that I'm not using. I overestimated how much I need. So that's the 3 1/4 trim, baseboard, rather, and that's the trim. That's the quarter trim. And it's self-explanatory where those go. So really, it was only $10 for the 3 1/4 baseboard, and $6.67 for the 2 lengths of trim. So it's already painted glossy white, so you can paint it whatever you want. This is the paint that I got, extra touch-up paint. I actually already had it, but that's good that you need to have it. As I told you before, I had mold here. So I cleaned it with Grease Lightning and got all the mold off, and then repainted it with that glossy paint here. And again, I got the semi-gloss. It's primer, paint and primer in one from Sherwin-Williams, but you can get smaller cans as well. So that's the trim and the base is what I got. I got this here. It's basically, it's called Great Stuff Gaps and Cracks, and it's insulation for gaps and cracks. So what I did here is, you saw I took the baseboard out and that was exposed to dirt. So what I went ahead and did was spray foam this stuff, and it's soft to the touch, but then once it goes, it gets hard, and I did it right underneath this before I put on my baseboard. There was a big crack here, so I sprayed it underneath this crack, and then I put silicone caulking there. So this is what I got. This was only, Great Stuff was only $4.79. Already had Grease Lightning. I'd highly recommend Grease Lightning if you get paint accidentally on your floor or whatever. Grease Lightning is the way to go. It's also good for the silicone, to get extra silicone. You need a tape measure, which you should have. You want gloves, a hammer, nails to do the trimming and the baseboard. You might want to get a little bit longer nails for the baseboard to go all the way through. I don't think I have any here that I used, but they're probably about that length. All right, a paintbrush, a saw, and then for the person who did my sink before, did not put silicone around the sink, so I got silicone caulking, and I caulked my toilet, and then I caulked around both sides of my baseboards. And caulking is very, very cheap for the most part. The white silicone, actually I got 2 of the white silicone, so they're like $7 a piece. Yeah, you can get them with a little caulk gun, but I decided just to get the hand squeeze. And the squeeze tube, that's the non-silicone, but I use silicone for pretty much everything. And you do want, in order to do the silicone and you do your finger, you should really wear vinyl gloves while you're doing that. So a saw, yeah, this looks pretty medieval, but that will cut the baseboards pretty well. A pen so you can mark and measure. So you basically measure the length and then you cut it. All right. And tape. The tape is when I painted. So you could use blue. It's basically called blues painter tape. And it's a tape that you put around. So when you're painting something and you don't want to get it like on your countertop, you put the blue tape around here. So if you accidentally touch it, it'll touch the blue tape, vice versa. But I actually just use regular packing tape, which is fine. All in all, it took about 4 hours to do. If I were skilled at it, it'd probably be a lot quicker. If I had better tools, it would have been quicker. Yes, you can have an electric saw. And if you look at the handiwork job that I did, yes, it's very, very, very mediocre. I did a little bit better job over here. It's very mediocre. You could probably see 100 flaws in it. But this is the downstairs bathroom, and I just didn't want it to stay looking the way it was. So I'm very, very happy with the job that I did. And you can't go wrong just doing it yourself. Just take your time. That's the key, is to take your time. All right, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe.